Today we are going to discuss about the Power BI introduction. Okay. And before I'm going to talk about the Power BI introduction, I just wanted to give the introduction towards the data and its importance in terms of the analysis. Okay. So before I'm going to start, I see a couple of new people join right now. I just wanted to introduce myself for you guys. This is Bhanu. I'm a working data scientist and I'm going to take up this Power BI sessions. I do have 11 plus around 12 years of experience into the IT industry. So I'm going to discuss about, let me tell you the agenda, okay? How data relates to the data analysts. The very first one, okay? Number two, Power BI market in the world. And future of Power BI. Okay. Difference between MSBI and Power BI. What is SQL Server, SSAS, SSIS, SSRS. Okay. Okay. So even I just wanted to discuss this general part in the last. Okay. So this is the agenda for today's session. Okay. If anyone wants to add a few more points over here, please let me know if at all, if it requires to complete it, or if at all, if it is required, or if you wanted to ask it as a question, I'm okay with that. Okay. First of all, let me explain you a couple of things. The very first one, how data relates to data analysis. See, first of all, I just want to make sure that we are going to see where exactly these data analysis comes into the picture in the IT industry, how the data, it is going to be get related to the data analyst. Got it? So can you observe that this is an image which is showing you an application which is going to be quite a UI interface for the end user, through which the data which is going to be generated will be stored in a database. The very first instance of generating the data in the software industry. At the level of the database, we will be having a designations or the jobs related to the database developer or the database administrator. And then we have something called a data warehouse. What exactly is this, the data warehouse? Generally, businesses, whatever the data that they have stored in the databases, since from the past 10 years or 20 years, mean to say that that is all going to come under the historical data. It's going to come under the historical data. All the historical data will be stored in the separate databases called a data warehouse environment. So, in order to generate reporting or access the data from this data warehouses, we require various tools to work with that. So, in such that case, we do have Informatica, DataStage, Cognos. These are all individual tools that we can make it useful in order to work for the reporting purposes or the SQL development purposes for the required data, which requires to be accessed from the data warehouse environment. Okay. And coming to the business intelligence, later on to the stage, the reporting could be done with the certain sort of statistical information or the statistical appliances or the existing options that we do have with the UI interface of the MSBI, SAP BI or BO business objects, or OBIEE, which is Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. Okay, here you will be having the various designations like MSBI developer, SAP BI developer, or OBIEE developer or administrator kind of stuff. Thereon, the next level of analysis, which will be quite relative and more or less completely into a visualization prioritized work, which could be done using the analysis tools. Okay, the tools are Tableau, Power BI, ClickView kind of stuff. Okay, currently the market leader in the industry is going to be the Tableau, which was in the market since from 2003. Okay, whereas Power BI has been introduced since from the year 2013, it seems. Okay, so here the Power BI is going to be the next technology which is going to have a very huge advancement, and also this is going to expand like anything else right now with his all of its capabilities, and also the Microsoft intervention. Why? Because they do have the very large customer base or very large client base. With the usage of that part, there are a lot of opportunities or the openings outside, okay, with the Power BI tool in hand. Later we do have something called the ClickView. It's also another data analysis tool which you could create the visualizations in a really effective manner in terms of not only the visualizations but also some sort of statistical appliance along with this. Okay, and there are some advantages working with the Power BI which I could highlight them while I'm doing the installation in the tomorrow session. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to show you the installation of the Power BI, in which then I'm going to show you the highlights in the Power BI. I'm going to highlight the best things in the Power BI, okay, where you could be understanding about what exactly that we can do in the Power BI. And apart from that one, we have something called the data science or the machine learning and the artificial intelligence or the deep learning kind of stuff, which are a little bit more advanced and this is all some different category, okay, apart from the visualization stuff. So let us not discuss about this one much. Okay, rather I could say completely the, this is another future of the artificial intelligence along with this machine learning and the deep learning kind of techniques outside, okay, including Python and R programming language and statistic appliance with this one. So now quite effectively that we could understand where exactly this Power BI tool is sitting across this entire designations in the software industry. Okay, now let me discuss about what exactly this is. Okay, after all that we could clearly understand, first of all, one thing that we understood that we are going to do the data analysis using the Power BI. Okay, Power BI means BI represents the business intelligence. Okay, right. So here, when I'm talking about this Power BI, is it the analysis kind of stuff? Right. We know that it is an analysis kind of stuff. Okay. Then we are here to understand, first of all, what is the main involvement of, why? Because all these things are none other than the products of the Microsoft, right? Agree, all of you? These are all none other than the products of the Microsoft. Okay, so what we are trying to do, we are to see not only this one, we could say that Microsoft, okay, BI reporting can be done, right? So whatever it is, all these products are the Microsoft products. Okay, when you go ahead and check the Power BI wiki, I wanted to show you. It was originally designed by Ron George in the summer of 2010, where the project was named as a Crescent, and finally it was into the hands of the Microsoft in 2013, as I said, and finally it was into the market just for the sake of this, you know, Office, Microsoft Office 365. Okay, and Microsoft has exercised a lot of technical abilities with respect to the Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View, which we are going to elaborately discuss in our sessions. We will be discussing about the Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View anyhow. So these kind of additional features which have been added by the Microsoft, and it was released to the outside businesses by mid of the 2015, which is nowhere longer than 2.5 years. Okay, hence there was a large demand about this particular stuff, where you can always try even connecting to the Microsoft Azure. Okay, Microsoft Azure is the one thing from where that you can always try connecting to. Azure is a cloud. Okay, so this is also a Microsoft product, which is nothing but Microsoft Cloud. So in our sessions, before I'm going to tell, okay, what exactly that we are going to come across in our sessions, let me first discuss about what are all these individual tools all about and how exactly they are correlated with the Power BI. Okay, let us first try to elaborate that part. So guys, first of all, before I'm going to talk about this, I need to talk about the ETL also. okay, where I wanted to keep one software, the SQL Server. I will be talking about the ETL. See, SQL Server is nothing but the database. Okay, it is the database which is introduced or developed by Microsoft. Okay, SQL Server is a database which is introduced by the Microsoft as an RDBMS model. Okay, it is an RDBMS model where you can create the databases, okay, for any type of applications. So the data which is being stored in the database can always be worked out with the SSAS, SSIS, and SSRS. What exactly all these things? I will explain you. Before that, we need to understand something called the ETL. What is ETL? In a very short form, we can explore this ETL as extract, transform, and load. Okay, extracting the data, transformation of the data, and loading the data into the particular software. These are the three different types of functions that at ETL tools, all the ETL tools will be performing generally. Okay, so when I'm talking about the ETL tools, I have just listed only the Informatica, DataStage, Cognos. Don't we have any sort of other ETL tools, guys? No, we do have. We do have the ETL, but may not be. I have listed over there. Okay, one of the items in this SSAS, SSIS, and SSRS is going to perform as a ETL tool. First, before we are going to understand what exactly the extract means, let us understand that part. What exactly it is going to do? Extract represents that it is going to first read the data from the database. Okay. The next point or the next part is transform. What exactly the transform will do? It will modify the data which was extracted from the database in the way that you want to show the reports. Okay, modify or transform the data in the way that you want to create the reports for higher management. Okay, and then the rest of the stuff is with loading. Loading is none other than nothing but you have to load that one into the target application. That may be a database, that may be a file, or whatever it is. Okay, loading the data into the file or web or DB database. Okay, which is going to be available for software for the reporting purpose in the sort of a file or a web or a DB. Okay, so anyhow that we understood what exactly the ETL and how it is going to give us some sort of understanding. Okay, now let's come back and let us discuss about the Microsoft products. Let us switch back to the Microsoft products again. So switching back to the Microsoft products, here I wanted to discuss about the SSIS. SSIS is none other than the very first one that I want to discuss about is SSIS and SSRS. Okay, what exactly this SSIS is going to do? SSIS is nothing but SQL Server Integration Services. Okay, SSIS, SQL Server integration services. What exactly this will do? This will be acting something just like a ETL tool. Okay, it will be acting as a ETL tool where it will do all the data holding with it. Okay, understand? It will take the data and it will transform the data and it will load the data to the destination, where the destination data, whatever there, wherever that you have stored, that may be the database, or that may be a location of a file, or whatever it is, from where this SSRS is going to work. Okay, what exactly this SSRS means? SQL Server Reporting Services. Okay, SQL Server Reporting Services. Now, what exactly this SSRS is going to do? This is going to do the reporting functionality. Okay, the functionality of the reporting can be done through this SSRS. Okay, so we have several other components inside which this SSR, whatever it is going to deal with. Okay, this is, but you know, this is not the fantastic reporting tool that I could say, but still it is a really good reporting tool that I can say. Okay, why? Because we have many other reporting tools in speaking in common. Okay, and here we do have one more stuff which I wanted to talk about, is nothing but SQL Server Analytics Services, Analysis Services. Okay, SQL Server Analysis Services. What this is going to do? It is going to process, it is going to do the analysis of the data from the data source. The data source may be the database, or that may be a different location of a data, that may be a file or some database, something like this. So what exactly this SSAS will make us to do? This is going to make us some sort of analysis, data patterns. Okay, how exactly the data mining can be done. Why? Because data mining features are there with the SSAS. Got it? So this is all the things that we are going to do with this is all the stack of MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence, will come up with this part. Understand, all of you guys? Okay, this is all none other than, it's a stack of Microsoft Business Intelligence. Right or wrong? Okay, you are you all with me, guys, or any questions so far? So this is nowhere different, and I could say that all these, the stack of all these things. Why? Because in the reporting stuff, you are going to, what exactly that you are going to do? The reporting stuff, you are going to create the dashboards and the reports. And what exactly you are going to do in the SSIS? You are going to do the ETL work. Okay, data integration and all kind of stuff. What exactly you are going to do the analysis stuff? You are going to work with the cubes. This is a different terminology that we will use in order to store the facts and dimensions. Okay, facts and dimensions, technically speaking. But I don't want to explore this part right now. Why? Because this is not our concentrating area. Okay, means the multi-dimensional data storage can be done using a component called a cube. The cube is nothing but the data storage concept which will store the fact and the dimension. Okay, I'm not going to discuss why, because we are not into the SQL Server analysis right now. Okay, so let us keep that one apart. Okay, I don't want to discuss about this part. But what is our main goal here? We wanted to understand the difference between the MSBI and the Power BI. Hence, we have discussed all this stuff here, right? Okay, so guys, MSBI reporting, this is what all comes under the MSBI, right? MSBI. So now we have something called a Power BI in our hands. Okay, guys, this is nothing but a new product with us. Okay, this is nothing but a new product launched by the Microsoft. Okay, why? Because this SSRS is a very old product. Okay, the new look of this SSRS has been designed into, instead of changing that one existing one, it has came up with a really dynamic and either web application, you can make it as a either web application or the desktop with a dynamic product, something called a Power BI, where you can do a lot of self-service capabilities, something just like making the data mining, visualizations like dashboards, and what there is a lot of functionalities with this one. You can make the web connection, you can pull the data from the websites. Okay, there is a lot of stuff with this one. You can create the reports on the fly. Okay, there is a lot of user friendliness. Okay, just drag and drop a lot of things. Okay, all of you understand? So this is a main real different product that I could say, where where we can always try to understand. Any questions so far, guys? Abhishek Kumar, just now I have explained about the differences between the MSBI and the Power BI. Power BI is a new product, okay, and there is a lot of differences actually. There are a lot of new options has been given in the Power BI. Okay, only the people who learn this Power BI could be able to learn what exactly the new options are. As I told you, this can be launched, the Power BI can be launched either as a desktop version or an online version or a cloud version, means as a website or a cloud version. Okay, understand? Even the people who are working on the SSRS, means whoever that they are working on the MSBI, they wanted to come into the Power BI. Why? Because it's an updated stuff. Okay, but the SSRS is the old utility or the tool. It was there in the market for years, and of course it is being used by the many businesses. But if at all, the way that it was changed by the Tableau has given a lot of big challenge in the market, where Microsoft has taken it as a very big challenge, and it has launched this Power BI in a quite opposite way to the Tableau in order to gain a lot of business to this. Okay, understand, Abhishek? So whenever that you are working with the BI, so you want me to talk about technical part. Okay, the main thing is there are a lot of freshers and they will not be able to understand, only the person you will understand. Definitely, if we are going to have a call, okay, separately, definitely I will just make you understand very clearly about the technical part. Why? Because no one knows about the technical part technically. Understand or not in the session? Okay, why? Because I can pinpoint many of the calculations which are new in the Power BI. Not only the calculations, the dashboard kind of flexibilities that we do have in the Power BI. Not only that one, the Power Pivot upgradation to the Power Power BI, Power Pivot upgradation to the Power BI, and also the DAX functions, how exactly it is making the really huge difference with the Power BI can be able to understand only by you and by me, where the rest of the people cannot be able to understand. Why? Because they are here for the introduction of this particular Power BI tool. Okay, so hence I was highlighting each and every particular stuff in the layman model. Hence, you could be understand what exactly this is required. And the people who are going to attend this particular session, it is that ensured that you are going to learn the Power BI the way that you are required to learn about it. Okay, and also it is completely pro-defined towards the working nature of this particular Power BI with your hands-on of creation of the various data sets. We are going to take up a lot of various data sets, and you are going to work on the multiple visualizations and also the data transformation and also the web scraping. Okay, how exactly that we are going to scrape the web and we are going to pull the data into the Power BI. Okay, any more questions about regarding this part? And Abhishek, as you, yeah, as you might be experienced in this BI development, and maybe you might have some question regarding the Power BI. You can always pose your question over here. If you might have struck somewhere in the Power BI, you might be using, or if you are not, if you are literally asking any sort of security related, or if you wanted to ask some other stuff, you can straight away ask me. Why? Because whatever that it is required to be uttered, it was already completed over here. Okay, so you can talk about anything else. Okay, why? Because this Power BI tool is the one which is having everything whatever that you have with the SSRS. Okay, so both are always the competitive stuff, but on top of it you have a lot of advantage with the Power BI in the way that in the new look. Not only that one, in the technical part, as I said, whatever that I have listed over there, you have a premium, Power BI server even. Yes, the ETL part can always be done with the Power BI. Yes, you can do. We have something called a Power Query. Okay, where you can you can connect the list of all the databases with the Power BI. Okay, whatever that they are listed with the Power BI. SSRS is the one which was introduced in 2004, where Tableau was introduced in the 2003. But this Power BI is the latest advancement of the reporting server, which was introduced in 2015, but still the main upgradation came in the 2017. And also the way the graphical representation is completely different from the SSRS and the Power BI, where you cannot correlate them, first of all. Okay, whether it may be the income in terms of the security or in terms of the data joining and all these things, the regular stuff, kind of stuff that you can always map with the SSRS for sure. Okay, why not, Suresh? This is what the flexibility with the Power BI. Why? Because this is a product of Microsoft. So whatever that you are going to use with the Microsoft product, there will be an interaccessibility every time. This is a very huge advantage between the products internally with the Microsoft. Okay, yeah, it is like a more or less MS Access query itself, but it is not the see, even we have the pivot with this Excel sheets, right? Any of you are using the Excel sheets for the pivot query? The same thing. The same thing, the entire object has been implemented with the Power BI with respect to the various database technologies. And also, Power BI is a free tool as of now if you wanted to use. Of course, if you want the professional, you have to pay. That's a different story. It is a free where you can use. And coming to the SSRS, you need to pay. That's it. Okay, and you have a lot of mobility with the Power BI, where you do not have that much mobility with the SSRS. Okay. Abhishek, it is an open source, and also there is a professional quality of the Power BI also. Okay, which is going to be where you will be getting a Microsoft support, if at all, if you are running into any sort of errors or something else, or if you have any sort of troubles, kind of stuff. Why? Because when you wanted to have a production reports, you can rely on the Power BI, which is a free utility. But still, if at all, if you have some cracks in your job, definitely you can always try communicating with the Microsoft. Okay. Yes, Suresh, you are right. Yeah. Can you please repeat your question, Suresh? I didn't understand what exactly you're talking about. Okay. See, that is a more or less like a database, Suresh. Okay. This is not the database here, right? It is loading the data, and at the end of the time, you are looking after for a reporting kind of stuff. Understand? That is a different story. Okay, we have another question from the Abhishek. He's asking about the power services. See, coming to the power service, definitely cloud based means who will bear the cloud, Abhishek, for the free? Understand? So definitely there will be some sort of charge. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If at all, if you wanted to make use of it using a desktop, it is free. Okay, Power BI service is different. Power BI desktop is different in terms of the services. Services in the sense cost or you know or free. Okay, only Power BI desktop is offline or desktop application. Power BI desktop is either offline or desktop application, whereas the Power BI service is online and cloud based service. Exactly, thy point. Exactly. Okay, but there are some few differences also between them. Okay, and these are all industry stalwarts. Both of these two are industry stalwarts. Azure part is used, Suresh, in order to have, for example, yeah, that is what I'm coming into the part. Microsoft Cloud Azure, okay, is the where that you wanted, if you wanted to launch an SQL database server over there, okay, and you can also try connecting to that one using the Microsoft Power BI. This is what I wanted to mention over here. Oh, okay. No, no, not exactly, Abhishek. You can try it out. Why? Because I have tried a lot of time actually. Okay. No, you see, Microsoft Azure you can launch as a service actually, data service, database service also. Yeah, you can configure with the Oracle. Exactly, Suresh. It is like AWS, right? Okay. And also from the Power BI desktop, you can always try publishing the reports to the Power BI services, which is online or cloud. Okay. But the problem here is you cannot share the report directly to the end user using the Power BI desktop. But you can share the report directly using the Power BI service to the any end user. That is a flexibility. See, these are all the kind of flexibilities, the kind of services that you can make use of it. But you can always try, publishing the reports to the Power BI services as you want. And also editing the queries and creating the queries to perform any sort of operations like splitting, joining, merging. Okay, all these things will be good in either of these cases. Okay, guys, any more questions? So here, this is what I just wanted to tell you. The market of the Power BI is really crazy outside. Why? Because the Microsoft is trying to implement this Microsoft Power BI across the different businesses, what exactly that it is holding right now. And there is a really clear view and the picture of the future of the Power BI, just because that I could say that it was just a 2 years old baby in the market, I could say. Why? Because with all the new features that I'm just collating and establishing in front of you. Otherwise, okay, and it is, having a very big clash with the Tableau, which is there in the market since from 2003. And also, Tableau is getting ready with all the artificial intelligence features in the upcoming version, which is going to be released maybe by the end of this year. I'm not sure about it. But still, Power BI is going to give a very good competition with the one of the best tool in the market again, which is a Tableau. Okay. Daipayan, can you please talk about that stuff? Why? Because it would be provided by the admin for you. Okay. You might have received an email. You will find the phone number of the admin and please talk to him about that. Okay. And he will provide you all the necessary information about that. Okay. So guys, tomorrow we are going to work on this Power BI. We are going to start the Power BI installation tomorrow. Okay. So I wanted to make sure everyone is going to do the installation along with me. Why? Because these sessions we have to run in a practical mode. Okay. See you all in the tomorrow session. Thank you for attending. Have a nice day and good night. Thank you.